being happy may be overrated. Not that it's a bad thing, but in the sense that it's made out to be that if you are anything other than happy, then something's wrong. As though you should be happy all the time. I think more importantly, we should remind ourselves to find peace rather and idle at being okay, because though it's important to feel happy, it's important to also feel bad, because you should feel all things to make you be able to distinguish one from the other, so when you are happy that you appreciate it and not just stay with this idea as though that's what you should be feeling all the time. As we all know, that's not going to happen. And even with feeling bad is, to me, just as important as feeling happy. That's not to say that you should feel bad as often as you feel good, but rather know to idle in between and being okay. This is why I believe so many marriages end up in divorce, because they are quick to throw in the towel when they believe they're not happy. Because it could be that they may think that the solution is to end the current relationship to then go into another, only to find themselves even possibly less happy, and think to themselves that perhaps the relationship they were in prior wasn't so bad after all. I get that now it's more easier to throw in the towel, because if you have social media, of course, most everyone at this point is on social media. And it's not that social media is bad, but I can see how one can easily throw in the towel, because they may see it as, well, there's everybody else here. And so that can make it easier to throw in the towel, I guess. Yet, you hardly ever see those relationships now that go on for 50 years plus, 25 years plus. And hopefully I end up there. I say hopefully because I'm trying my best to always remind myself of that, to idle at being okay and not get so caught up in thinking that I'm not, this idea of not being happy, I'm just not for it. Because, as I'm saying, more importantly, being okay should be what you should be feeling most of the time, and not necessarily staying at being happy. Though that would be great, right, if you feel that all the time. But if you only feel that and you don't know what it is to feel bad, then how can you appreciate being happy? Does that make sense? It should make sense, right? But yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier because for the most part, I'm cool. I'm okay. Thankfully, I don't suffer from depression. And I don't say that in a way to be insensitive to people that do suffer from depression, such as a family member that's dear to me. Actually, I think a few family members at this point, honestly, and how I ended up not getting it, I don't know, but I'm thankful for it because I know it can be a mess. It could be a mess just being around it, especially if you don't have it, but if you have family members you love, I don't know, you can't just walk away. And you shouldn't walk away, because when it's all said and done, I don't have a clue as to what they may be going through in their head, and it may possibly not even be their fault because they're just wired differently than I am. Because I've seen it to where it'll be a beautiful day outside, and for some reason it doesn't click for them as it does with me. Earlier today, I woke up feeling off because, as I'm saying, I'm usually cool and okay, thankfully, but today I felt a little off. But I also didn't have to wait for me to feel off to appreciate feeling okay, because for the most part, I'm always reminding myself of that. I think my wife would say that I'm good at that, to always constantly remind myself that I appreciate being okay in the moment, because for the most of us, and with myself too, it's happened where it's not even then. That's saying a lot, because I do appreciate being okay in the moment, but even at that, it's not till you get sick that you start thinking to yourself, man, I just wish I was okay, or I just wish I wasn't sick. But when you're not sick, you don't appreciate not being sick in the moment. And so, yeah, I think that's the same idea as to appreciating in the moment that you are okay. And the priority should always be to idle at being normal. Not even happy, not sad, but somewhere in the middle. And there'll be moments where you get a bit of happiness, hopefully more happiness and sadness. And then there'll be other moments where you'll feel sad. And it's okay to feel that way, because then you can appreciate one from the other. Because if you only feel bad, then that's a problem. Just as if you only feel good, that's a problem too. Because how can you appreciate feeling good if you never feel bad, or the other way around? This Boris's deli dressing is good.
Will you bring some hot coffee, Penny? You know, the doctor says he's completely out of danger. Just sleeping.